Welcome to the BEASTwriter family where social media engagement is encouraged. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we are going to be making sense of the news that broke out on Twitter as it pertains to right tackle Mike McGlinchey possibly getting shipped out to the Indianapolis Colts. Interesting, right? You guys know what I said about Trent Williams possibly going to the Colts. Now GM Chris Ballard is actually interested in a 49ers right tackle. Weird. Connect the dots. Let's connect the dots. All right. All joking aside, we're going to go ahead and make sense of why this deal is potentially being discussed and if it actually will pan out. All right. So, again, I just want to say before we go ahead and do that, thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel. Just be sure to flip on and turn on the bell notifications so you get notified when I go live or when I upload content. Also, I'm looking at my analytics. Gosh, I can't even talk today. I'm looking at my analytics as I do every single day, and I'm noticing about 63% of you guys are still not subscribed to my channel yet watch all my videos, like all my stuff. So please do me a solid and hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Not just because I'm telling you, but because obviously you guys like what I have to say. I'm trying to monetize this beast. So let's go ahead and be a part of the BEASTwriter family. Let's support each other as we grow this one social media platform. Also, in doing so, you'll be entered for fun giveaways. I mean, who else does this, right? The BEASTwriter family is all about doing giveaways. And this is what we're giving away today for Family Fridays at 2:30 on my live stream, weekly live stream. Every 2:30, if you guys don't know, I come on Family Fridays and I do a Q&A, but also do fun giveaways if we hit our milestones. In this case, we did. We had 1,000 subscribers. So as a result, we are giving away this game day commemorative last day at Candlestick pennant, complete with the NFL licensing logo on there. We are also giving away, if we hit 1,500 subscribers, our next giveaway is this 2018 bobblehead, Jimmy Garoppolo bobblehead. So we're about 300 subscribers off. All you guys have to do really is just share my content, tell your family and friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Boom, we'll be at 1,500 by tomorrow. All right. And I'm giving away this nice 49ers backpack given to me by the 49ers themselves, again, complete with the NFL licensing logo. All I'm saying, man, is subscribe to my channel. It's not that hard, and you get free stuff. Any other people, I don't know if I can't speak for anyone else, but I just know that I haven't seen anyone that does this, that gives out free swag, that you can score free swag just by simply subscribing to my channel. If you found someone, shoot them my way, and maybe we can collab. I don't know. All right. Now let's go ahead and talk about the podcast itself. Let's talk about Mike McGlinchey possibly being, I just said Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey. That just sounds wrong. Mike McGlinchey. We're going to talk about Mike McGlinchey. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I should just redo this recording. Mike McGlinchey going to the Indianapolis Colts. So who is Mike McGlinchey? Mike McGlinchey is a 2018 first-round pick, drafted number 9 overall, drafted out of Notre Dame. He clocked in at 6'8", 309 pounds. I really saw and liked what I saw from him in terms of his game as being a true sound technician, fundamentally sound. The instincts are there. The problem I have and the flaws in his game that I saw coming out of Notre Dame was his core strength and his play strength. Those are two things that really irk me, I guess you could say. And on top of that, when you're a top 10 offensive lineman being drafted in the top 10, especially offensive tackle position, it just blows my mind how he's not able to have a consistent leg drive. I mean, if you can't sustain a consistent leg drive, how are you supposed to have success at the line of scrimmage and at the point of attack? You don't require your hips. The lower man always wins. This is football 101. And you're constantly getting out leverage, especially in run support. Something we didn't see in his run blocking grade in his rookie season. I mean, he was a stud his rookie season in run blocking. Well, I think every year since then it tapered off. Why that is, that remains to be seen. But I can tell you this. The Colts offensive line coach is probably looking at this and saying, hey, look, I don't know what they're teaching this kid in San Francisco, but when we scouted him in 2018, these are critical factors that I can be working with. I know we can get a Pro Bowl offensive tackle and right tackle Mike McGlinchey if he was to come here to Indy. So Chris Ballard, I like you, man. Let's see if we can try to fleece the 49ers again via trade. We did it last year with DeForest Buckner. Let's see if lightning can strike twice. I'm not throwing. I'm just saying that would. I mean, who got the better end of the deal? You tell me. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about if the 49ers are actually willing to go ahead and make this play, right? Are they actually going to be playing and making a move, trading away their former first round pick? Let me just go ahead and get the banners up because I know you guys love these banners. Here we go. Are the 49ers giving up on 2018 first round pick right tackle Mike McGlinchey? Well, they have a decision to make, right? They have to decide whether or not they're going to pick up his 5th-year option where he's due to make $10.9 million. See the Austin Powers thing? All right. So all joking aside, yes, $10.9 million. And if they choose and opt not to re-sign Mike McGlinchey and give him that 5th-year option, well, they'll just be admitting fault that they just struck out on another first-round pick. GM John Lynch doesn't do well with his top 2 picks in the draft. I already said and already put out an earlier podcast, and you can catch that podcast in the description box below. And again, I tie earlier podcasts, how it ties into this one. That's why I run my podcast, and they stay strong for months at a time. You guys can check my YouTube receipts. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I said John Lynch is on the hot seat. This is one of the reasons why. Because if he trades right tackle Mike McGlinchey, that's another first-round pick that he literally just admitted fault that, hey, I messed up. I did it in 2017 with not only Solomon Thomas at number 3, but also in the tail end of the first round and Reuben Foster. We couldn't pick up his 5th-year option because we released him. He's gone. Gone with the wind. And then in 2018, we traded right tackle Mike McGlinchey because we need draft capital. So then that's your first 3 picks, first 3 first-round picks that are no longer with the team anymore. How's that looking? Outside of 2019, had a bounce back year. Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, grade A draft. 2020, kind of reverted back to his early years. You guys all know how I felt about the Javon Kinlaw pick, diminishing the value of the pick, reaching for need, just like they did in 2018 with right tackle Mike McGlinchey. I said they should have stayed pat, got Tristan Wirfs. Now what are we doing? We're looking for an offensive tackle. Why? Because we need to recoup draft capital from the half-year rental of Emmanuel Sanders, giving up a 3rd-round pick in return. See how this works? And then I said, okay, well, if you're going to trade down like that and just want draft capital, let's trade down even more and get Justin Jefferson. He didn't do that either. So my YouTube receipts check out. Fast forward to today. Now they're in a bind. Are they going to are they going to trade right tackle Mike McGlinchey? And what's the trade value in return if they were to pull off this deal? Ultimately, it comes down to this, right? Let me just get down my little tracker here because I know you guys love these little trackers. These tickers, I should say. I call it tracker. Some people call it ticker, like a stock ticker. I like tracker. All right. Are the Colts serious about right tackle Mike McGlinchey? Because ultimately, is this smoke or is this trade alert actually going to play out? You have to weigh the pros and cons of instant gratification for long-term gains, part of the 3 parameters of how I like running my podcast, and that's why. Yes, the Colts are serious players. Why? Because right tackle Braden Smith, who came out of the 2018 draft class, was drafted in the 2nd round, number 37 overall, but he is nowhere near the level of right tackle Mike McGlinchey. Furthermore, he was a 2nd-round pick, as I just pointed out. He's not a 1st-round pick. So his cap number for the 2021 season is only $3.2 million. He has $800,000 tied up in dead money. The savings from the difference would be around $2.4 million in cap savings. Well, he's on the last year of his contract simply because he's a 2nd-round pick, not a 1st-round pick. Right tackle Mike McGlinchey is a 1st-round pick, so you would be picking up his 5th-year option, getting another body of work to see and another year of sample sizing to pull from on whether to extend that offensive tackle. Braden Smith likely on his way out, with rumors that right tackle Mike McGlinchey is coming to Indianapolis or potentially coming to Indianapolis, or maybe someone else. You have Eric Fisher on the market now. You have Mitchell Schwartz from the Kansas City Chiefs now on the market. Orlando Brown Jr. wants out of Baltimore because he believes he's a left tackle. Again, I'll include that podcast in the description box below so you guys can see and connect the dots as I cover all 32. I got you covered. But no, you see where this is going, right? You see where this is trending. So it does make sense for the Indianapolis Colts to go ahead and pull off this deal simply because Braden Smith is not the answer. And to make matters worse, left tackle Anthony Costanzo retired, which is why I put up an earlier podcast on Trent Williams being the perfect landing spot for the Indianapolis Colts. And I'll include that description in the box below. Just go ahead and click the description box below. I'll tie in those podcasts. I'll have the title of the podcast, and there'll be a link to every single one of those podcasts. Be sure to watch these podcasts because when I hop on the live stream at 2:30 p.m., as I do on my weekly Family Friday show with all of you guys, we'll have a strong, healthy debate on exactly what I'm talking about. And it makes sense, right? It makes sense. That's why I connect the dots. That's why I cover all 32 because I'm not doing any legwork. There's no guesswork involved. It's all there for you. Check out the YouTube receipts. They check out. So the next question is, if I have my tracker up, yes, the Colts are serious about right tackle Mike McGlinchey. And to peel back another layer of the onion to get to the core, Quenton Nelson also played with right tackle Mike McGlinchey at Notre Dame. They were both coming out of the same draft class, 2018 draft class. Quenton Nelson obviously went in the top 10 picks as well. He was the top guard off the board. And quite frankly, Quenton Nelson is Mike McGlinchey's best friend. Like he went on record and legit said he was his best friend. So you don't think that Quenton Nelson put in a good word for Mike McGlinchey? Yes, he did. And I even confirmed that by saying, hey, checking out with my sources, hey, did I like Quenton Nelson is boys with right tackle Mike McGlinchey. So like, did he say something or to Chris Ballard? Discussions were taking place. He said, hey, is right tackle Mike McGlinchey available? Let's go ahead and make a play for this guy. I don't know the exact words, but I'm pretty sure he said something along those lines where, yeah, why wouldn't you? He's their best friend. Like, why would you? Oh, no, man, the guy sucks. He's their best friend. Like, that. Why are you throwing shit at him, bro? Like, you just said not only is he your best friend, but you also said that he was the leader of the offensive line while at Notre Dame. So you see where I'm saying, you know where I'm going with this, man. Like Quenton Nelson definitely put in a good word for Mike McGlinchey. Don't get it twisted. And Chris Ballard obviously likes Mike McGlinchey and Quenton Nelson playing together. The idea of that, because again, he was at his pro day. Looking back at my notes, as I do every single year, I track who's at pro days. This is why I do it. Then coach Dave DiGuglielmo was leading the pro day drills when it comes to the Notre Dame offensive linemen. And you had a few other guys there. You had the Eagles there watching. You had the Patriots were there. The Raiders were there up close and center. They had all their scouts there. So yeah, this is what I do. And when you have a strong personnel that's there simply to just watch Quenton Nelson and right tackle Mike McGlinchey, you don't think, what are we, 3 years removed now, 4 years removed, 2018, 19, 2000, yeah, 3 years removed now, you don't think they still have the same feelings about whether or not right tackle Mike McGlinchey can play in their system when they had him ranked high on their board? Yes, they can. And yes, they do. So it's interesting to see how that plays out. Now, it brings up to my next question, right? What's the trade value? What's the trade value for right tackle Mike McGlinchey, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to cost something for the Niners need to get something in return, right? They need to yield draft capital. That's what they need. They need draft capital. So is it going to be a first round pick or a second round pick? That is the question. Well, if you caught my earlier mock drafts, which I made a podcast playlist on, and again, I did podcast playlists of all 32 NFL teams since I cover all 32. I also did a mock draft playlist. I did a workout Wednesday playlist. So you can see my workouts, and I did a mukbang playlist. So again, all my playlists are categorized by whatever it is you're looking for, and that is no different when it comes to the Indianapolis Colts or the San Francisco 49ers, right? Or my mock drafts in this case. So in my mock draft at number 21, obviously the Colts hold the 21st overall pick. I have them currently slated to select Samuel Cosmi out of Texas. Well, if you're looking at Samuel Cosmi compared to right tackle Mike McGlinchey is definitely the far better player. Again, I said it time and time again, the offensive tackle class is weak sauce. It's not as strong as in years past, so all these tackles are going to be pushed up the board. In any other draft, I would say Samuel Cosmi would be graded a tail end first, possibly better, a second round grade. But this is 2021, and again, those who say, oh, well, is it really realistically the GM Chris Ballard would give up a first round pick for right tackle Mike McGlinchey? Yes, because I believe that Chris Ballard sees the value there in a weak offensive tackle class where he doesn't want to delve into free agency. He can still pick up a guy on the 5th-year option for the following year and say, hey, look, like the financials make sense. Quenton Nelson likes him. And again, if you're connecting the dots, it's reuniting Quenton Nelson and right tackle Mike McGlinchey like their days dating back to Notre Dame, similar to what happened in the AFC East. If I did an earlier podcast on that, I'll include that podcast in the description below. And in that podcast, I talked about Isaiah Wilson coming to the Miami Dolphins. Excuse me. Why? Reuniting with Solomon Kinley, dating back to their days in Georgia. He'd be kicked in from tackle now into interior guard because you already have Austin Jackson manning the blind side, drafted number 18 overall at a USC. And then on the right side, you got Robert Hunt at Louisiana in the 2nd round. I believe he was drafted number 39. So it all makes sense. You see the trend that's happening around the NFL. These younger core offensive linemen and offensive line coaches and GMs are saying, hey, look, it worked in college. Let's kind of bring back that college vibe and see if we can get that offensive line, some moving parts of the offensive line and what we need and see if it works. You saw it just happen with the AFC East Miami Dolphins. It could happen with the Indianapolis Colts. I am just saying. So if Chris Ballard wants to play this risk reward game, it's well worth the risk for Chris Ballard to go ahead and pull the trigger. Now, will it happen? That remains to be seen. But it is something to discuss, and don't be surprised if the Niners yield a first-round pick, or that's what they're asking, a first-round pick, because obviously Mike McGlinchey was a first-round pick. Now, again, it comes down to this draft class. This draft class is weak for offensive tackles. The Indianapolis Colts were likely taking offensive tackle at 21 anyways. McGlinchey is better than Cosme, so it makes sense. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm coughing today. It's because I had too much coffee. This coffee, like, I don't know where it is. It's new coffee. Anyways, by the way, should I drink some more coffee? I don't know. With that being said, that's what I think about that. What are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts, BEASTwriter family. Please leave your comments below on what it would take to land a guy like right tackle Mike McGlinchey in Indianapolis. Ultimately, this is what I want you to do. If you think it's a first-round pick, just simply type number 1. If you think it's a second-round pick, type number 2. And give your analysis why. I'll be hopping back on a live stream at 2:30 p.m. It's around 11:15 right now. And I'm excited to hear what all you guys have to say as we discuss this topic and more. Thank you for tuning in. BEASTwriter out.